God darn it. Forgot to plug my microphone in. Is it on? I'm not a real YouTuber, am I? No, I am a real YouTuber. Is it working? It's on.
Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Sophie Waddington and on this channel we talk about all things manifestation and mindset. So if that's your vibe, come and click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos. I am trying to post as frequently as I possibly can at the minute. So yeah, come and follow me. Today, I want to talk about how you are not stuck. You are just missing all of the opportunities that are in front of you because your reality is not real. You are filtering it through a lens. And the version that you're seeing right now is directly correlated with the identity that you are holding and the assumptions that that identity has. So, when you change the identity, you change the filter. And we're going to talk a bit about why reality is not real. Da, 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 da. So the thing is that all creation is already done, which means that everything that could possibly happen, every version of reality is already available to you. And certain things have to unfold to bring that into the 3D reality, but you are not able to see those things because of the lens that you are filtering through. So, we have something in our brains called the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS for short. And that system allows us to not be overwhelmed by the millions, literally millions, of pieces of information that are coming into our brains all the time. So, if you just take a second to be still, you will start to notice that there's more going on than what you were focused on. So, for example, you might hear like the humming of the refrigerator, or you might hear the clock ticking, or you might hear a bird outside, or somebody starting an engine or closing a door, or you might feel the fabric of the chair that you're sitting on, or you might feel the temperature. So, we've got these millions of pieces of information, and our brains filter through a lens of our identity to only show us the things that are familiar, that are known, that are necessary for us to function, because otherwise we'd just be like slapped in the fucking face with millions of different sensations all the time, and it would be too much for us. But the problem is that that reticular activating system also limits us because it only shows us what we believe to be true. So even though the opportunities might be there, the person that you might need to meet is right there, the experiences that you could have are right there, you will not be able to physically interpret them in your brain because they are being filtered out as like a waste product. It's not necessary. Your brain doesn't look for them. It filters them out. It stops you experiencing them because it doesn't believe that you need them. So when you change your identity, you also change what your assumptions are. And that changes the reticular activating system. It changes the lens through which you view reality so that you are able to experience those opportunities that you didn't see before. Understand that they were always there. They were always there right in front of you, but you cannot see how things would unfold because it just doesn't align with your identity. And even though your reticular activating system is super clever and you can actually use it to your advantage, it doesn't look for what's best for you. It looks for what's safe and what is familiar. So you will experience the same life day after day, month after month, year after year, because it's constantly seeking to prove you right, prove your assumptions right, and prove your identity right. So you're going to probably experience the same amount of money, the same kinds of relationships, the same struggles in your job, the same environments over and over again because it's showing you what's available to your identity. And this is why I talk so much on this channel about changing your identity, about stepping into a new identity so that you are able to see those opportunities, so that you are able to see all of the things that are already there in front of you that you are currently blind to. So, this idea of reality, and I'll often refer to this as your 3D because I don't like to call it your reality, your life, the things that are happening right now around you, it's not real. It is not real. And there's so much proof to show you that this is not real. First of all, there's millions of different, well, I don't know about millions, might be lying there, but there's a lot of scientific research about how the brain works and your reticular activating system in particular. But there's also evidence in your everyday life, like when you and another person are having the same experience, maybe it's a day out, but you both interpret it very differently and you both notice different things about the day, you have a different perception on it. So that shows you that there is no truth. There's only your truth. There's not one overall truth. There's only your perception of things. So you get to create what is true for you. Another example of this would be that we have judges and juries, because when somebody has committed a crime or when a crime has taken place, people can have different experiences of what happened and what the truth was in that scenario. So, for example, if we both looked at this piece of paper and we were asked what colour paint is on it, you would say pink and I would say green. So you would assume that maybe that means that I'm lying, or I would think that you're lying, but actually we're both telling our own truth. We're just looking at different perceptions of the same piece of paper. I'm impressed with my commitment. I just painted that while I was filming. Your brain is trained to prove you right over and over and over again, and it filters based off your belief system, which is formed through your identity. So if your brain takes in some information and it matches your belief system, it will allow you to perceive it. If it takes it in and it doesn't match your belief system, it will filter it out, so you will not become aware of it. Some everyday examples of this is, let's say that your identity has a poor perception of men or of relationships. You will look around and you'll say, there's no good men, there's nobody nice out there, everybody cheats, everybody does this, everybody does that, everybody treats people unkindly. And that is exactly what you will experience, because your brain is literally seeking out evidence to prove you right with that assumption. If you believe that money is hard to get, then you will always find it really difficult to get money, even though other people are experiencing easier in money. So why is that then? You've got to ask yourself why that is. Is it just because some things are unfair and some things are fair, or is it because you've got different identities with different belief systems? It's nothing to do with luck, it's to do with the identity that you are consistently affirming is true for you. And you are looking around saying these statements: there are no good men, it's hard to make money, blah, 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 blah. And your reality is proving that back to you through your reticular activating system. So all of the good men, all of the money is going to be filtered out because your identity simply cannot see it. And you can try this now. You can literally play with your reticular activating system and see how it works. So if I said right now to look around the room that you're in and look for anything that's red, just have a look now and see how many things that you can spot that's red. And then once you've done that, I want you to switch the colour, maybe choose yellow, look around the room and see how many yellow things you can see. While you were looking for the red things, you weren't looking for the yellow things, so they were being filtered out because your focus was saying, I'm looking for red things. It's seeking out red things. You'd given it a direct instruction. So when you focus on the good, you see more good. When you focus on the bad, you see more bad. And that's very, very apparent. And you'll be able to see what people's reticular activating systems are seeking, including all your friends and your family and the people around you. You'll be able to see very clearly what identity they are holding. Is it the identity of somebody who is expansive, who is abundant, or is it somebody who is a victim of life and everything's terrible for them? So understand this about manifestation. When you create a vision for something that is really expansive and you think, I don't have a fucking clue how I'm going to get that, understand that you don't need to know right now, because when you step into the identity of the person who already has that, when you start to speak, when you start to think, when you start to view things from that version of you, the opportunities, the people, the path that you need will be revealed to you. It's not that it wasn't there in the first place, it's that now your reticular activating system is able to see it. So when we use tools like visualization or affirmations, it's not that they're just magic or that they just feel good. They are training your mind to seek out what you desire. They are installing an identity that has a new set of belief systems so that your reticular activating system can work off those beliefs instead of the beliefs that say, I don't have enough, everything's hard, life is a struggle. And when you do this, you will see that the 3D starts to change because your 3D reality, if you want to call it that, even though it's not real, is always loyal to your assumptions. It's always reflecting back to you what you believe to be true about yourself. And rather than thinking of it as a reflection, I prefer to think of it as a projection of your identity. So you are installing the identity and then you are pushing that reality out in front of you into the 3D so that you can experience it. But as long as you remain loyal to the old identity, the one with the belief system that doesn't serve you, you will continue to see the same amount of lack in your 3D reality. So I'm going to give you some little tips on how you can retrain your reticular activating system so that it works for you instead of against you. And the first thing is that when you are going about your day and you are having certain interactions in the 3D and experiences, rather than asking limiting questions like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why does this always happen? Why don't I get what I want you to reframe the questions that you're asking. How is this already working for me? How could things be playing out in maybe a way that I can't see right now? What is the good in this scenario? Ask better, more positive questions when you are faced with a difficult circumstance in the 3D. The second piece of advice is to decide what you are available for. You need to start deciding what you are available for. Nope, that's not for me, thank you. I have this. This is my experience. I am the person who gets this. And stop just reacting to the things that are showing up in your 3D that are from old assumptions. Stop allowing the 3D and the old identity to just be ragging you around with your ponytail. You are the person in charge, so make the decision for what you are available for. And something that can really help strengthen your belief in your powers to manifest, your powers to create your reality, is to start noticing the small pieces of evidence. So, for example, you could focus on the color purple and notice when you see all of those purple things that you previously didn't see. That is proof that you are constantly filtering your reality through a certain lens. So, practice with that and build your confidence, build your bank of evidence that, oh, I thought about this and then I experienced this. Ages ago on my podcast, before I even started this YouTube channel, we actually did this and we chose the item of a stork, like the bird, a stork. And we had so many people in my old Facebook group messaging saying, oh my God, I've seen a stork. They were turning up in the most random places. I found two storks, like ornaments, in the garden that I didn't even know were there. So choose a really random object and just put your focus on it in your mind. Now that doesn't mean that you are going out searching for it because again, that's not really the point of the reticular activating system and this challenge. I want you to just naturally see it. So choose an object that's a little bit obscure. Don't choose something like a love heart because a love heart you start trying to convince yourself that, oh well, maybe it's just coincidence. There's no such thing, by the way. But choose something that's a bit specific. So it could be a certain type of car or a certain color of car or a certain animal, something that you would be surprised to see and see how many times you notice it this week. So I hope that what you take from this is that you might feel stuck right now. You might feel like your life is on repeat. You might feel frustrated. You might feel like other people are getting better opportunities from you and people are just luckier than you. But it's actually all down to you and your identity, your assumptions, and the filter that you are looking through. And you have got full ability to change that filter and start to focus on all of the opportunities and all of the abundance that is available to you. So go and experiment with that and let me know what you're going to focus on in the comments below. I would love to hear it. And I will see you soon.